So, hi there everybody, great to be with you all again. Next stream will be on Thursday, which will be the 3rd of October at 3:30 p.m. UK time. So, hello to Julia and Kelly and Manisco. Hi to Oksana and Roland and Yuri and to Sergey as well. Okay, we've been doing this article which was about dehumidifiers and how they are very useful tools. So, first one's an easy question. The ideal relative humidity is circa or so, roughly nigh, between 40 and 60%. Okay, so we've got roughly for Roland and Sergey and Oksana, and roughly for Julia. Okay, circa is normally about dates. So this book was written circa 1900. Hi Sammy, lovely to hear you. To have you here. Something between, yes. Nigh, it means near. The end of the world is nigh, or nigh on, nearly. So there are nigh on 20 people in class, circa-ish. But circa is normally, okay, circa means ish, but with dates. Yeah, particularly years. Circa 1920, circa 1930. Okay, circa is normally used with dates. Also, so the ideal relative humidity is 40% or so. Yes, 1920-ish, yes. Okay, so roughly, very definitely, is around. But we've got this between, is roughly between. The adverb modifying the adverb, yeah. Okay, so let's continue. High humidity is associated, allied, united, matched with mould and other microbial growth, she explains. Okay, so we've got associated with from Roland and Sergey and Oksana and from Kelly as well. Allied with. Normally allied with, this is talking about different groups that work together. Associated with from Julia, associated with from Yuri. Allied with. I suppose allied with is allied with, but no. If one thing is allied with, they work together. They help each other. Is united with, no. Is matched to, doesn't work either. But this product was brought to you allied with. Circa 12 p.m. It works. Let's see. I'll see you circa 12 o'clock. Yes, I think it does work, Yuri. It's more. It's normally for years, but yes. Linked with is linked with very definitely, Sergey, but is associated with. There's an association between them. Allied with, yeah, allied with is normally various groups. And let's continue. Very low humidity, say below 40%, and definitely below 30%, is associated with things like breathed, respiring, respiratory viruses. So, breathing viruses, breathed viruses, respiring viruses, respiratory viruses. Okay, so viruses for your lungs. So we've got respiratory for Oksana and Sergey and Sammy and Julia and Roland as well. Okay, breathing viruses. No. Breathed viruses sounds like a virus that's been breathed out by somebody else. Respiring viruses says that the virus itself has lungs and respires. Okay, so of the respiratory system, because I think all the others are implying that no notification, P, but you're here, lovely to see you, P. So, respiratory viruses, very definitely. And let's continue. Dehumidifiers don't actually remove mould, she stresses. Just some of the moisture that could urge, motivate, encourage, strengthen it. Just some of the moisture that could urge, motivate, encourage, strengthen it. So, we've got encourage from Oksana. Okay, so they don't actually take it out of the system. Encourage for Sergey. Strengthen for Sami. Urge for Manisko. Urge for Yuri. Urge for Roland. Ooh, this is a mixed bag, isn't it? Strengthen for Kelly. Yes, Oksana. Well done, Oksana. You remember, it's the same choice, isn't it? Yeah, because all of these verbs look like, let's see, you're persuading somebody to do something. Encourage for Julia. Okay, this is great. No, this one we did a couple of weeks ago, Patricia. Yeah, or something similar to this. Okay, you urge somebody to do something. You can only urge a person. Yeah, my friend urged me to stop smoking. Yeah, the doctor urged me to go on diet. To motivate. Again, a person motivates a person to do something. Encourage. A person can encourage a person, but also something can encourage a situation. So, for example, low interest rates encourage inflation. Stimulate is okay. My videos urge you to learn English. But that would be in the video. So Yuri, in the videos, I would be urging you to learn English. To urge is where somebody is speaking to somebody else. And the right word here, Yuri, would be your videos encourage me to learn English. The video encourages me. Yeah? You feel the the urge to learn English, but to encourage a certain situation can encouraging. Eating a lot of motivate my advancement. Motivate is good. It is good. Okay, so you urge to give it a rating. That's it, Yuri. Yes. Whereas, okay, I can encourage you to give me a rating, but could provoke it. Provoke works definitely, Sergey. So something encourages something else. Lack of money encourages crime. Okay, so urge and motivate for people to people, encourage from people to people, and from things to things, to strengthen it, to make it stronger. No, it's encourage. It's definitely encourage. Inspire, yes, but also inspire things to happen. And if there are leaks or water, admittance, ingress, inlet, access problems in a home, for example, from damaged pipework or damp walls, a dehumidifier alone will not solve these issues. So, access for Roland and access for Kelly. Access for Julia. This is an interesting one. So, water admittance. It's definitely not admittance. Yeah? If you've got a ticket gives you admittance. Patricia says ingress. Okay, an inlet is where the where you have a pipe and you can turn it on and off. Oksana goes for ingress. Manisco goes for ingress. Sammy goes for inlet. Okay, normally an inlet you have control over an inlet. Yeah, you can turn it. A tap would be perhaps an inlet. Okay, if you water access problems in a home, it means that the house has difficulty getting water. Okay, the house has difficulties accessing water. Hi Chaya. And it's not water access problems. The water access problems would mean that the house had problems getting water, problems accessing water, and the answer is ingress. That's very good from Patricia, from Oksana, and from Manisco. Inlet is a stream in, outlet a stream out, but ingress going in, and egress is the opposite, going out. Egress, out. Respiratory for the previous one, yes, it's ingress. Well, so egress is out, ingress is in. So the water ingress, water coming in. This live is a new vocabulary, ingress. Yes, I guess it is. Yeah, new vocabulary is ingressing into your mind. Okay, to ingress or an ingress. It can be both a noun and a verb. Okay, to ingress. Maybe you could ingress into university. Entry, yes. And egress, exit. Ingress, entry. Ingress, sink in. Yeah, it could time to take words. Vocabulary takes time to ingress into your mind. Yeah, I think that works. Yuri. Around 15 years ago, engineer Ray Galvin set up a study in which his friend used a humidifier to deal, tackle, handle, cope moisture problems in a 1930 three-bedroom semi-detached house in Cambridge. Circa. A circa 1930 So, Oksana says to handle. Roland says tackle. Sammy says tackle. Yuri says tackle. Okay, I think this is quite an interesting one. Tackle could also work, says Oksana. So cope with, deal with. Both of these need with. Tackle or handle, says Patricia. To handle, says Chaya. Cope or deal with, absolutely. So I think we could use, in this case, both tackle and handle. I think they're both valid answers. Marty goes for handle, to handle moisture problems, to tackle moisture problems. I think in the original they used tackle, but I think both are good. So I think I'm going to handle a moisture problem. I think I'm going to put both of these. Tackle, handle. It remains one of very few scientific studies documenting the productivity, efficacy, power, aptitude of dehumidifiers in British homes. Tackle sounds more informal. I think I agree with you, Marty. Oksana goes for efficacy. Efficacy for Sammy. Tackle for smaller issues, handle for more important ones. Yeah, Patricia. Sergey goes for efficacy. Hello, Lionheart, who's gone for efficacy as well. Efficacy for Roland, for Kelly, and for Julia. Wedding tackling problems. Well, firstly, be very careful with that, Yuri, because wedding tackle talks about the male reproductive organs. No, it doesn't work at all, Yuri. Efficacy for Patricia. Efficiency is the same. Efficacy is a posher, more formal word for efficiency. Efficacy for Chaya. Efficacy for Marty. Fail to tackle. Well, if you fail to tackle, you don't deal with it. You don't do anything. You just let the problem continue. So the government have failed to tackle this problem. They haven't done anything about it. As an interference. Hi, Mr. Khan. So, productivity is the amount that you produce, particularly a factory. Power, how strong they are. No. Aptitude, a person has aptitude. It's definitely efficacy, efficiency, efficacy. You fail to tackle, you fail to deal with. It says you're not doing anything about it. Hi Nina, lovely to see you, with efficacy as well. It just seemed to me a really important thing to try, says Dr. Galvin. Nobody had worked it out in that sort of orderly, consistent, systematic, systemic way before. Hi Victor, lovely to see you. efficacious versus efficient. I think they're probably... So something that's efficacious works well. It works very well. Something that's efficient doesn't use a lot of resources. For example, a huge fire inside your house is going to be very efficacious at warming it. Yeah, but it's probably not very efficient. It's efficient if you use a lot of insulation. So consistent for Roland, systematic for Sergey, systematic for Mr. Khan. Kelly goes for systematic. Consistent says Roland again. Systematic says Sammy. Systematic says Julia. The previous one. Efficacy. Chaya, efficacy. Systematic for Manisco. Orderly for Oksana. Needs more context. One systematic, two consistent. Okay, now looking at this one. Done and dusted, completely finished, Mr. Khan. Without context. That sort of, let's see, it's a scientific experiment, and a scientific experiment it's systematic. I think consistent would work. I think orderly would work as well, but I think systematic is the best the word. Yeah, if you're systematic, you follow a scientific method. The scientific method is systematic. I think orderly and consistent also work, but I think systematic is better. Great to see you, Lionheart, and great to see you, Serkan, as well. Clinical would definitely work. Clinical, though, particularly for medicine, Patricia. The results showed that running... Whoops. Systematic approach, yes, absolutely, it's a collocation, Sergey. The results showed that running the device for roughly 4 hours each night spent, consumed, absorbed, depleted 1 kilowatt hour of electricity and removed more than a pint of water from the air on average. Consumed for Sergey, Mr. Khan, consumed for Julia and Oksana, consumed for Roland and Kelly and Nina, depleted for Sammy. He placed his hand on her shoulder in a clinical way. Yes, there was no love between them. Consumed for Chaya. Okay, if something is depleted, you are depleting the resources. The resources are disappearing. We are depleting the oil resources of this planet. We are this project is very rapidly depleting my savings, taking away from and bringing down to zero. Removing from a store to deplete, to reduce the concentration of something. You don't normally spend electricity and absorb. No, it's not absorb. So we've got consumed for Sergey and Mr. Khan and Julia and Oksana and Roland and Kelly and Nina, and consumed for Chaya and Patricia and Lionheart. Okay, depletion of the water table. Yes, Mr. Khan. Depleted uranium with low radioactivity. To consume. Yes, Marty. Depletion of the water table. To deplete. To eat away. That's very good. I like that, eat away, Yuri. So it consumed. The occupants said that this solved their condensation problems, which had mostly affected, struck, smitten their windows. Nina goes for affected with A. Oksana for affected with A. Mr. Khan for affected with A. Kelly with affected from A. With A. Sergey affected with A. Julia affected with A. Chaya affected with A. Patricia affected with A. So smitten. From to smite. You're smitten when you fall in love. I guess a storm struck. Affected for Patricia and affected for Manisco and Roland. To effect with an E is to cause a change. He affected a change in the system, but affected to influence, to have action over. Affected for Lionheart. Sammy goes for smitten. I'm smitten with this. I'm in love with this. Affected with an A. Yeah, affected. Yes, Sammy, affected. Okay, to affect. Normally affect, the verb is an A, and normally the noun is an E. I'm smitten with your teaching. Yes, Mr. Khan. Affected behaviour. That's good. Affected my English greatly. Affected for Marty as well. Okay. If you can't permit, afford, allow, pay a humidifier, there are other ways of reducing high moisture levels indoors. So, afford from Kelly and Sergey and Nina. Afford from Roland. I was smitten with his talented skill. Yes, that works very nicely, Julia. Afford for Marty. Fork out for A. Yes. Okay, afford Yuri. Afford for Julia. Afford for Oksana. You can't allow, but allow is normally to give permission for it. It doesn't talk about money. Affect with an A and as a noun is talking about affection. So the affect that I feel for my students is very great. Affection. Afford for Chaya. Ciao, Marty. Lovely to have you. Afford for Patricia. Afford for Lionheart as well. So permit and allow. No, this is permission. Pay for, but afford. If you haven't got the money for a dehumidifier, there are other ways of reducing high moisture levels indoors. In behavioural sentences, yes. In behavioural psychology, very definitely, Patricia. Positive affect, to love something. Okay, Dr. Galvin suggests the German approach of Stoßlüften, or shock ventilation, which involves opening multiple windows as wide as possible for several minutes to allow for a significant transition, conversion, changeover, translation of air inside and then closing them again. Transition from Mr. Khan, transition from Roland, transition from Nina, transition from Sergey, transition from Julius, transition from Mr. Khan, transition from Gardius, conversion for Oksana, conversion for Yuri, conversion for Sammy, transition. for Lionheart. Conversion for Yamud. Patricia goes for conversion. Or transition. Okay. Conversion for Chaya. Okay, let's see. Conversion. You convert it. You convert one thing into another. No. Translation. To move from one place to another, but translation of air inside. Chaya's going for conversion. Factory conversion. For significant transition, but transition again is from one state to another. The transition from oil to renewable energies. No, the answer is changeover. Changeover, because you're changing the air from outside to inside. Yeah, there's a changeover of the air. Changeover is for shifts. Well done, Oksana. Yeah, you were the first one to go with conversion. So, well done, Oksana, Yuri, and Sammy, and Yamur. Okay, changeover, changeover. Okay, it's a changeover. Or, for example, when the shifts change at work, this is a changeover. Or the governments change, this is a changeover. It's swapping one thing for another, and you're swapping outside air for inside air. A transition. A transition between two states. Okay, changeover. So, oh, I like the next one as well. I think this probably better be the last one. This is quite a good one. Dr. Galvin says this won't cool down the house because the interior walls will retain potential heat, latent heat, untapped heat, unused heat. Conversion. No, because let's see, you're converting is changing one thing into another. A chemical reaction converts one thing into another, but this is what there is no actual change in state. It's just a change in position. So latent from Kelly and Jerome, and from Julia, latent. Potential for Sammy. Latent for Yamur. Latent for Roland as well. Okay, let's see. Unused heat. Unused heat is heat that's not used. Interior marks the latent, says Guardius. Untapped is unused. And the heat's definitely there. I'm sorry, Burb, we're about to finish. This is the very last one. Potential energy, but this is energy that heat that's not come. Latent, not active, not obvious for Roland. Latent for Patricia. Will retain potential heat, but let's see, potential heat, Nina, sounds like something that hasn't been burned. Yeah, or potential energy, something that is not, it could give the energy, but it's not going to. Dormant would be good. Latent means something that is inside the system. Burb goes for latent as well. So latent is something that is inside a system. Okay, it's something that's present, but it needs something that needs particular conditions to become active. Okay, so latent. It's there, but some things need to happen for it to come out. Potential, but not explicit. There we go. Potential. Something that is dormant. That which is CG. Okay, latent, unused, untapped, and potential in that order. Latent. Hidden, says Jerome. And not forget them. You need to try and use a couple of new words every day. It's latent heat. Something is latent. It's something that needs particular conditions to come out. When the temperature goes down, then the latent heat comes out of the walls. It's there already in the system. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, enough for today. Next stream is on Thursday, which is going to be the 3rd of October at 3:30 p.m. UK time. Yes, exactly, Sammy. 3:30. So thank you all for coming. It's been great having you all. And let's see. It's been my pleasure, Manisco. Thank you for your constant support, Manisco. My pleasure, Kelly. And thank you to Burb and CG. Thank you to Guardius and Jerome and Julia and Kelly. Thank you to Manisco and Nina and Patricia and Roland and Sammy and Yamur. Thank you, Yamur. And thank you to Yuri and Sergey as well. It's been lovely having you all. Thank you, Serkan, as well. So next stream on Thursday at 3:30 UK time. Okay, the time in the UK now is 10:30 Chaya. At the moment it's 10:30 UK time right now. 10:38 UK time. Okay, so woof. Because I'm not on UK time either, but this is the easiest way. Okay. So take care, all of you, and I hope to see you all on Thursday. So thank you for your support.